The Industrial Revolution, which began in Britain in the late 1700s, manufacturing was often done in people's homes using hand tools or basic machines. Industrialization marked a shift to power special purpose machinery, factories, and mass production.
The iron and textile industries, along with the development of the steam engine, played central roles in the Industrial Revolution, which also saw improved systems of transportation, communication, and banking. While industrialization brought about an increased volume, variety of manufactured goods, and an improved standard of living for some, it also resulted often grim employment and living conditions for the poor and working class. Industrial Revolution begins in Britain. In the 1700s, wealthy landowners started to buy old land that was once worked on by farmers, and large landowners dramatically improved farming methods, leading to an agricultural revolution. The agriculture paves the way. The wealthy landowners enclosed their new land with fences and hedges. Within the larger fields, called the enclosure method, had two important results. One, landowners tried new methods, and two, large landowners forced their farmers to become tenants or move to the cities. Jethro Tull was one of the first scientific farmers. He created the seed drill, which allowed farmers to sow seeds in well-spaced rows at specific depths. This boosted crop yields. As farmers lost land to large enclosed farms, many became factory workers. Why the Industrial Revolution began in England. In addition to a large population of workers, the small island country had an extensive amount of natural resources as well. Industrialization, which is a process of developing machine production of goods, required resources, such as water power and coal to fuel machines, iron ore to construct machines, tools, and buildings, rivers for inland transportation, and harbors from which merchant ships set sail. Business people invested in the manufacturing of the new inventions, and it got to the point where people were encouraged to take bank loans to invest in machinery. Britain had all the factors of production, the resources needed to produce goods and services that the Industrial Revolution required. They included land, labor, and capital or wealth. Inventions spur industrialization. In an explosion of creativity, inventions now revolutionize industry. Britain's textile industry clothed the world in wool and cotton. By the 1800s, several major inventions had modernized the cotton industry. One invention led to another. In 1733, a machinist named John Kay made a shuttle that sped back and forth on wheels, the flying shuttle, boat-shaped piece of wood to which yarn was attached. Dual led the work weaver could do in a day. In 1764, a textile worker invented the spinning jenny. It was a spinning wheel that was run by water power, was bulky and expensive. However, the spinning jenny allowed one spinner to work 8 threads at a time and made a thread that was stronger, finer, and was more consistent.
The pace of industrialization accelerated rapidly in Britain. By the 1800s, people could earn higher wages in factories than in farms. With this money, more people could afford to heat their homes with coal from Wales. For many years, most Europeans have lived in rural areas. After the 1800s, the balance shifted towards cities. This shift was caused by the growth of the factories where the manufacturing of goods was concentrated in a central location. Britain was a politically stable society as well as the world's leading colonial power, which meant its colonies could serve as a source of raw materials as well as a marketplace for manufactured goods. As demands for British goods increased, merchants needed more cost effective methods of production, which led to the rise of merchandisation and the factory system.
Reform movements rose in response to the negative impact of industrialization. These reforms meant improving working places and giving the right to vote to working classmen. Factory workers faced long hours in dirty and dangerous working conditions. They also were on the threat of being laid off. The philosophers of industrialization. An important philosopher was Adam Smith because he created the three natural laws of economics. The law of self-interest. People work for their own good. The law of competition. Competition forces people to make a better product. The law of supply and demand. Enough goods would be produced at the lowest possible price to meet demand in a market economy. Industrialization spread from Britain to other European countries, including France and Germany, and to the United States. By the mid-19th century, industrialization was well established throughout the western part of Europe and America's northeast region. Overall, the Industrial Revolution was a revolution that began in Britain, which saw a move from people mainly working on the land to people mainly working in manufacturing. Many people moved to cities and searched for jobs. The methods of manufacturing things could be produced for cheaper and quicker than before. The Industrial Revolution by Jesse and Jose.